We wish you a Merry Nickmas. We wish you a Merry Nick.
Remember this? Or this?
Just hear those sleigh bells jingling, ring ting tingling too.
When the Christmas promo started playing on Nickelodeon, it signaled the best time of the year for a kid in the 2000s. This included all the Christmas specials from your favorite shows. And if you're like me, this unique category of Christmas media holds a special place in your heart. But unfortunately, I haven't seen these much since those first couple of years after they aired, because for some reason, these don't get the same treatment as other Christmas specials. Sure, we can air Frosty the Snowman every single day on every channel, but God forbid we throw in a little nostalgia boost for the younger generation. Nickelodeon Christmas specials should be up there with the timeless classics, like A Christmas Story, Rudolph, and Francois. So today, I'm re-exploring the magic of the 2000s Nickelodeon Christmas specials to see if they still hold up today and determine which one is the best. I'll be revisiting 6 specials in total: Christmas Every Day from The Fairly Odd Parents, Holly Jolly Jimmy from Jimmy Neutron, Christmas Who from SpongeBob, A Christmas Story from Victorious, iChristmas from iCarly, and Merry Christmas Drake and Josh from Drake and Josh. Now I know there's obviously a lot more than 6, but these are the 6 ones I remember from my childhood. It wouldn't be the same or fair if I was reviewing a special I had never seen or barely remembered, so sorry if your favorite isn't here. Let's kick things off with The Fairly Odd Parents. Christmas Every Day is the 7th overall episode of the series, and they wasted no time making it the first double-length episode. The story revolves around Timmy wishing it was Christmas every day, which, of course, turns out to be a horrible mistake. The episode kicks off with an original holiday tune, and there is something to be said about Timmy Turner's abrasive voice singing the song without any tuning correction.
I wish every day could be Christmas, 'cause every other holiday week.
Timmy Turner is voiced by a girl, if you didn't know, Tara Strong, who is a voiceover legend, most recently voicing Miss Minutes in Loki. I've always loved the animation and feel of The Fairly Odd Parents, and this episode is no different, leaning into the comic-like style with onomatopoetic exclamations and shots that mimic panels from comic books. And I love all the jokes and small moments throughout the episode. They have an energy that can only be described as early 2000s Nickelodeon.
Everybody, pretend to be asleep! I hope I get a football!
The mascots from all the other holidays get mad that their holidays won't get their time in the spotlight now, since the wish can't be undone due to the plot needing a reason to happen. The holidays kidnap Cosmo and Wanda and head to the North Pole to banish Santa to February 33rd. I learn that Timmy lives in Northern California as he travels to the North Pole to warn Santa. He disguises himself as the fake holiday mascot Birthday Boy, which fools everybody, including Cosmo.
Timmy? No, Timmy has a pink hat. That's Birthday Boy!
God, I love Cosmo's dumb energy. Timmy makes it to the North Pole to warn Santa, who, by the way, without his magic, is a slim 30-something business mogul. The other holidays arrive and give me my favorite joke from the episode.
Get him, Sonnet! Mistletoe.
I like you as a friend. You're a good person.
I love how they include the dog in this. The Easter Bunny saps Santa's magic, but before he can banish him to the imaginary date of February 33rd, kids from around the world show up to defend him. Timmy had previously sent out a message on the internet, something that was a big deal back then. Santa gets his powers back, all the kids write a letter to Santa wishing it was the day after Christmas, and everything goes back to normal. This is absolutely a classic Fairly Odd Parents episode, and one of the best of the series. The style and humor of the Fairly Odd Parents is just so, well, magical. This episode has everything I want from this show. A wish gone wrong, sharp jokes, and a great story. Up next, we have the holiday hit from the boy genius. It's Jimmy Neutron in Holly Jolly Jimmy. Jimmy Neutron is an odd show that feels like it lives in a suspended state away from all the other Nickelodeon shows. It's not often mentioned alongside the greats, and has developed more of a cult following over the years. Before I get into the episode, I have to mention one of the coolest facts I have ever found. Jimmy is voiced by Debbie Derryberry, who has had one hell of a career. Derryberry doubled for the character Jessie in Free Willy, during the scene where the whale saves the boy from drowning. With no wetsuit and only one extra breath of air, Derryberry had to act unconscious underwater while the giant killer whale pushed her up.
they had an underwater speaker, whale is approaching. And so I had to act unconscious and let a 3,000-pound whale pick me up with his nose and bring me up to the top.
That's badass. The episode begins with a skeptical Jimmy questioning the existence of Santa, citing a lack of proof. In response, the class breaks out into song, led by the lovely voice of Miss Fowl.
On Christmas Day!
To prove Santa isn't real, Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen travel to the North Pole. They find Santa's workshop, where Jimmy predicts Amazon warehouses.
But Jimmy, what about the factory?
Ha! It's just a gussied up warehouse, Carl.
Jimmy accidentally zaps Santa, putting him out of commission on Christmas Eve. Somehow, Jimmy still doesn't believe in him, so he decides to deliver all the presents himself to prove that if he can do it, that means Santa can't be real. Meanwhile, back at Jimbo's house, there is a subplot brewing with the best character on the show, Jimmy's dad, Hugh.
Christmas has been canceled,
Oh no! That's the worst thing that could ever happen!
and it's all because of this boy, Jimmy Neutron.
Except for that.
Hugh invents a pie-focused holiday called Pule, and sings an oddly good song about the fake holiday.
All your cares like a la mode will melt away.
Like, I could imagine hearing this on the radio. But alas, Pule ends up a failure. Jimmy and friends almost deliver all the presents, but forget their hometown of Retroville. After their air vessel breaks apart and leaves them free-falling, the real Santa comes and saves them.
You are real.
Yep, got my red suit, everything.
Wait a second, is that Mel Brooks? What the f is Mel Brooks doing in Jimmy Neutron? Anyways, turns out Mel Brooks is a genius like Jimmy, as he has a brain blast, delivers the remaining presents, and gets everyone home safe. One more rendition of the first Christmas song caps off the episode. Of all the specials I'm covering, I remembered the least about this one, but rewatching it brought me right back to the early 2000s. It has all the staples you would expect from a Jimmy Neutron episode. Wacky science, brain blast, an invention that goes wrong, and of course, Mel Brooks. I still can't get over that. His cameo makes this episode that much better.
Ho, ho, ho! Got a blast!
There are a bunch of SpongeBob Christmas episodes and specials, but I don't think any of them come close to the first one, Christmas Who. You know it's gonna be a great episode when it opens with a Christmas rendition of the theme song, immediately followed by Patchy the Pirate. This was actually the first episode with Patchy and Potty, and I forgot how awesome they are. My favorite gag is when Patchy pulls down the Potty puppet and the puppeteer falls as well. It's just wonderful. As for the main animated part of the episode, the best way to describe it is beautiful. There is no cartoon or kids show that can consistently make me laugh to this day, even after my 100th rewatch. I found myself laughing more than I did for any other special, which is often the case when watching SpongeBob, even now in my 20s. But what really makes it beautiful is how it combines that laughter with heart and genuine moments that make you feel good. SpongeBob becomes obsessed with Christmas and Santa Claus after Sandy tells him about the holiday. He gets the entire town in on the festivities, as everyone writes a letter to Santa and anxiously awaits his arrival. Except, of course, for Squidward, who is being his usual curmudgeon self. This provides us with one of the funniest, most brutal jokes from all of SpongeBob.
My wish is that the people of Bikini Bottom will stop paying any attention to the inane dribble that is constantly streaming out of this dunderhead's mouth.
Gee, Squidward, maybe Santa will bring me a dictionary so I can understand what you just said.
We're blessed with probably the most recognizable song from any of these specials, with Very First Christmas.
This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me.
After a long night of chanting, Santa is a no-show, and the ever-fickle residents of Bikini Bottom immediately turn on poor SpongeBob. Squidward makes sure to pile on, teasing SpongeBob relentlessly, resulting in this beautiful meme photo, as Squiddy just can't help but be well...
First Christmas is this Christmas, 'cause it feels...
SpongeBob still gives Squidward a present though, a beautiful hand-carved clarinet. And it is here that we see a change of heart for Squidward, as he realized what a big he was. This is what I love about the early seasons of SpongeBob. The characters have depth. and aren't reduced to a caricature of themselves like they often are in later seasons. To remedy the situation, Squidward dresses up as Santa Claus to make SpongeBob happy, and gives us the sweetest, warmest moment you could imagine.
Thank you for bringing Christmas to Bikini Bottom.
I didn't bring Christmas to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob. You did.
I did? Oh.
All the townsfolk come back to claim their presents, because, as I said, fickle bastards, Squidward gives away everything he owns in the pursuit of keeping SpongeBob happy, and witnesses the real, live-action Santa. This episode is just so perfectly crafted. From the snappy jokes to the heartfelt character beats, everything flows and blends so well. When you watch an episode as incredible as this one, you understand how SpongeBob became such a phenomenon. There really is no other show that does it like SpongeBob. Up next begins our live-action entries, starting with Victorious's A Christmas Story. This episode has since become a bit infamous over its portrayal of the main female characters. Sure, it was awesome 10 years ago when I was a growing lad, but nowadays, as a grown man who has had his innocence stripped by the real world and context, all I can think of is the bakery. But I'll try not to let that affect my review. The Tori story is a timeless tale about a Christmas kerfuffle. The episode begins, and holy I forgot how jarring the transitions are in this show. Anyways, the entire episode revolves around the main cast of Tori, Jade, Kat, Beck, Andre, and Robbie getting each other Secret Santa Christmas gifts, as well as Andre being upset because the song he wrote for his creative music class got a bad grade.
I've always gotten A's in music. How does a person go from an A to a D?
Happened to me in 8th grade.
Yeah.
God damn it, Dan. Tori gets Andre a ceramic guitar for his Secret Santa present, but after seeing how awesome Robbie's gift to Kat is, she aborts mission, and the rest of the episode is dedicated to her trying to think of a good idea. An idea that is provided by Jade as her gift to Tori. And that leads to the big musical number, as Tori, Jade, and Kat sing Andre's Christmas song in front of his teacher, in hopes of changing his mind about the grade he gave.
Carolers singing, sleigh bells are ringing, it's that time of year.
And like, how tough is the class he's in that this song got a D? This is high school. Did the other students write Sleigh Ride to Heaven? Like, where was the bar at? Anyway, the teacher is convinced to give Andre an A, hopefully based on the musical merit and nothing else, and that's pretty much it. Rewatching this special reminded me of a lot of things I had forgotten about this show. The social media post transitions that have since become a meme, how much auto-tune you can hear in the intro theme, and the odd mix of jokes. There's a Gary Busey gag, a scene where Trina flocks Robbie, and a whole lot of pent-up sexual energy coming from Robbie.
Thank you! You know, she's just using you.
I know. But when we're done, she might hug me, so I'm okay with it. You bought me a girl?
Overall, this is a fun episode that is probably one of the most remembered of the series, for one reason or another. Also, this girl looks like a discount Jeanette McCurdy.
A cricket.
That's hot.
We now move into the much-loved series iCarly with iChristmas. I adored this episode when I was younger, so I was excited to watch it again and see how it held up. And I'm happy to report it holds up pretty damn well. The episode is a tribute to It's a Wonderful Life and follows a similar premise. Spencer makes a metal magnetic tree instead of getting a real Christmas tree like Carly wanted, and the tree catches fire, burning all the presents Carly had wrapped. She yells at Spencer and wishes he had been born normal, in a scene that hits the emotions pretty well. This gets her a visit from her Christmas angel Mitch, who grants her wish of Spencer being born normal. This drastically changes things in Carly's life. The apartment is now very formal, and Spencer is a serious businessman who is dating Freddie's mom. So yeah, things are pretty bad. Carly learns that Freddie is dating a snob named Rona Berger, and that she herself is dating Neville. She also learns that Sam and her never became friends, and because of this, Sam ended up in juvie.
What's my favorite book? Boogie Bear 3, The Return of Boogie Bear.
The last straw for Carly is when she finds out Spencer and Mrs. Benson are engaged. And yeah, we can't blame her. She rants about how she wants her old life back and begs Mitch to change things back. He obliges and things go back to weird. In a sweet moment, Carly insists they keep the burn magnet tree as she embraces Spencer's oddball ways. We see Mitch the Angel one last time as he thanks Carly for helping him get his wings, in a gag that has stuck with me like no other. In a great misdirect, Mitch gets a giant plate of chicken wings. It's so simple and stupid, but I love it. Every year when I'm watching It's a Wonderful Life, this is all I can think of when the angel talks about getting his wings. We end with the gang admiring the tree while humming Hark the Heralds, Charlie Brown style. As the credits roll, you can't help but have the thought slip into your head. Is this canon? Did this actually happen in the world? And if so, what are the implications? I love how this episode focuses on the relationship between Carly and Spencer, which I think is the strongest point of the entire show. Jerry Trainor is a national treasure, and he plays Spencer so well. The chemistry all the actors have with each other is a big reason this show works so well. It's the same reason the next show works so well too. Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh was the last we ever saw of the brothers, as this movie came out a year after the original show had concluded. I loved this movie when I was younger. I thought it was so funny, I loved this story, and I could not get enough of it. So I was really excited to rewatch it after all these years and see if it still held up. And it didn't quite live up to those expectations. Some of the jokes felt dated, and there were some odd moments that raised some questions. You'll see what I'm talking about. But despite these slight bumps, I still found myself with a smile on my face the whole time, because nothing will ever take away from the amazing dynamic Josh Peck and Drake Bell have. The movie's plot revolves around Drake keeping a promise to a little girl to give her and her family the best Christmas ever. And you already know that means hijinks will ensue. The little girl in question is named Mary Alice, an orphan who lives with 5 other foster children. Drake runs into her when he is dressed as a mall Santa and running away from being assaulted? I would feel bad if he didn't just ask some kid to rate how hot his sister is and make out with a random chick. There's a lot of weird stuff going on in this mall, but hopefully it can't get any worse. Wait. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! I have to say, this all takes place in the first 8 minutes of the movie, and I was seriously worried that my childhood was about to be torn to shreds in the next hour and a half.
I'm not done with you, Santa!
Luckily, this is most of the stuff that didn't age too well, and the rest of the movie really hits its stride with some classic Drake and Josh tomfoolery. On that note, I have to say I absolutely love the Drake and Josh style of humor, and there are so many dumb yet fun jokes in this movie. I'll try to restrain myself and only mention a few, like this one.
Hello? Cops?
I should also mention quickly that Drake and Josh's parents went on a vacation for the holidays, which is why they aren't around. That subplot will pop up occasionally throughout the film, but the gist of it is the vacation isn't as luxurious as they expected. Back to the reason why Josh called the cops. Some stereotypical douchebags were trashing a Christmas party on the roof of the premiere movie theater, so Josh gets the cops involved. And oh boy, did they get involved. They show up and just literally start arresting people. Nothing gets by these guys. Josh gets cuffed and put in prison, where we meet Bludge, Josh's cellmate and an all-around awesome character.
And another quarter.
Oh man, that's great.
Mary Alice finds Drake again and tells him about her hardships, which determines Drake to keep his promise, because everybody knows
you can't break a Christmas promise.
He attempts to break Josh out of prison, but gets himself caught and arrested. A judge, played by Henry Winkler, sentences Drake and Josh to... Oh, nope, sorry, wrong footage. Sentences Drake and Josh to keep their Christmas promise to Mary Alice and her foster family. But if they don't give them the best Christmas ever, they will go to prison. This is an accurate representation of how our legal system works, because everybody knows
you can't break a Christmas promise!
They are given ankle bracelets by this grouchy cop named Perry, who will foil the brothers throughout the movie. This includes paying a group of stereotypical looking criminals to jump Drake and Josh and strip them naked. Drake and Josh realize they may be in over their heads after meeting the foster children and seeing how crazy they are. The brothers recruit the help of their little sister Megan to avoid Officer Perry by promising her a super fancy Smith Royal oboe. She removes the tracking device in their ankle bracelets and sends Perry on a wild goose chase. But this doesn't last long, as she learns Drake was lying about having a Smith Royal oboe, so she puts the tracking devices back in their ankles. Time is running out to give the kids the best Christmas ever, and their next idea is to go Christmas caroling. Drake tries convincing the eldest of the group, Luke, to go with them, because he's been a skeptical boy this whole time. All Drake has to do is drain a basketball shot and Luke will go. I fucking love this joke. Their caroling gets off to a bumpy start, but after Drake whips out his guitar and gets the band together, things finally start going their way. Meanwhile, Drake and Josh's parents finally have enough of their terrible vacation, and presumably paddle all the way back to California from wherever they are. Drake, Josh, and the foster kids are all excited to sing in the Christmas parade, but Officer Perry foils them once again, and gets Crazy Steve to loudly remind the brothers about their court order in front of the children. And may I say, the girl that plays Mary Alice, Bailey Madison, puts in one hell of a performance in this movie. Things are looking gloomy for the boys, but they want to keep their promise, regardless if it doesn't change the fact they are going to jail. They plan on making it snow, because they previously learned Mary Alice was fascinated by the stuff, and had never seen it before. They borrow Steve's wood chipper Sally, and end up spraying chunks of ice everywhere, destroying the neighborhood.
This was my grandmother's blender. She wanted you to have it.
They are knocked out by the out-of-control wood chipper, wake up in their beds, and are greeted by Perry and his monkey. Now would probably be a good time to mention that the reason Perry was such a grumpy goose is because he wanted a monkey for Christmas when he was a kid. He got the monkey, and then promptly got peed on as the monkey went on a rampage. Drake and Josh learned about this story and bought him a new, sweeter monkey. Perry places the boys under arrest, and they both go quietly. But surprise! The kids are there to tell them that they did a great job, and they all agree it was the best Christmas ever. Santa Bludge comes rumbling down the chimney and has gifts for everyone, including a Smith Royal oboe for Megan. They see it snowing outside, as Crazy Steve is out there making it snow with cheese. Drake and Josh's parents arrive, everyone has a fun time in the cheese snow, and it's confirmed Helen and Shirley are the same person.
That's nice.
And so concludes this fun last ride with Drake and Josh. I have to admit, I didn't love this movie as much as I did when I was younger, but I still got a ton of enjoyment out of it, and that's all you can really ask for. Drake and Josh will always make me laugh, and their legacy left a firm imprint on all those who watched the show. This special was the cherry on top of an awesome part of many childhoods. And there you have it, 6 classic Nickelodeon Christmas specials to feed your nostalgia. I have a unique love for each one of these specials, but there has to be a winner of which one stood the test of time and is the best Nickelodeon Christmas special. And that is for you to decide, because who cares what I think? Give me your ranking in the comments, and take the Twitter polls linked in the description. The poll will be up until the new year, and I'll post the results here. For the record, here's my ranking. Feel free to call me an idiot if you disagree. Thanks for watching, and Merry Nickmas.